Hi, I'm Casey Henry, and welcome to Behind the Break. The song that I'm talking about today is a Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver tune called Girl from West Virginia. Now, this little segment is a new feature that I'm trying on my channel where I try and explain some of my reasoning behind how I arrived at the break that I taught in this lesson. So for this tune, I had somebody request a break for this song. They didn't want exactly what the banjo player played, so that left me free to come up with my own arrangement. I do, of course, consult the original recording always. So I found the recording of it and I listened through to it. Standard bluegrass chord progression, pretty straightforward melody. I listened to what the banjo player played. I don't know who the banjo player is on this particular recording. It's because they didn't have the recording credits. All of Doyle's banjo players are killer, of course. And he was doing some cool stuff, but some of it was a little bit hard, so I didn't want to, take the time to figure out note for note what he was doing because I don't have that much time. I have to prep these lessons really quickly, and it's almost always quicker to just come up with my own arrangement on a simple song like this. So I listened through to both his break and I listened through to the singing because when I make up my own break, I try and get as close to the melody as possible. And to do that, you have to listen to the words. So I listened to the verse and the chorus. They have the same chords and melody in this song. And I came up with a break that stuck pretty close to the melody, I thought. I did take the entire fourth phrase out of the recorded break because it just has killer kind of J.D. Crowe style ending licks that if you don't already have them in your repertoire are great ones to have in your repertoire, like this, this, that one, this one, and a tag lick. Everybody knows that already. So I kept all that because it was a nice way to string all those together. But the first three phrases were more or less how I kind of heard them in my head. And when I originally came up with the break, this is what I was playing. Well, that was different, but so the first three phrases, every time I played them like this. The beginning of that phrase. So the first three phrases were going to be the same. Then I sat down and taught the lesson, and I realized that at the end of teaching that first phrase, I had taught it like this. With a roll right there instead of a pinch. That instead of this. So I stopped the recording. I was like, I don't feel like going back and redoing that. So I'll just keep it like that. So as a result, now the break has the first and third phrase with a roll version containing just one pinch of 1 and 2. And then the second phrase in between those two, I did keep the 2 pinches. So that actually adds some nice variation that I hadn't intended to have in the break, but that's okay because now you have 2 variations on how to play that phrase, and they're both perfectly good variations. And it keeps the first and third phrase the same as well, which I think is important when teaching and learning. So you have that big chunk which you have already learned, and then you can just add it in a second time on the third phrase. So that's a little bit of my thought process behind this break. If you've enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments. If you're interested, I can keep doing this for all my new videos. Thanks for listening.